This one female, she's she's related. Yeah, she's ghetto, but she's also native, so it makes her res ghetto. She's a few years older than I am, and she's always posting this and that about how it's the responsibility of men to show their feelings, show the women that they fucking care, that they've always been the one and they shouldn't leave him. Right. And because of this 30-day ban, I can't post up on her shit like I usually do. She threatened to block me after I posted something about females' nature on one of her posts about how ghetto females keep going after the same type of guys, and they get mad because those same type of guys, they don't want to stay monogamous. They don't want to keep their dick in their own pants and hers only. Because it's typically true. They all go after the same type of guy. And yes, some of them are willing to share that same type of guy instead of getting a guy that's not gonna fucking cheat, that's gonna pay bills, that's gonna do this and that for them. She got mad. I didn't call her no names. I didn't talk about anything about her past. I just stated facts of why men are walking the fuck away. And the only men that aren't walking away are the ones that want to keep fucking other females while being in a relationship. You know, but today's post I seen, one was if he really was the one, he would have showed it to you. He needs to prove what he said, at the start of the relationship. I mean, I wanted to say, what did you do to make him not want to keep proving that he was the guy for you? Yeah, and then there was another post, something about I don't know. It was some weird ass ghetto ass shit. Took a regular saying and turned it ghetto. Mm, it's I believe I was 9, maybe 10, not sure. But I just heard about Walk a Mile in My Shoes. I'm 40 now. And I had my regalia, and I said, walk a mile in my regalia. And then went down to one of the tribal buildings. Saw a lot of collages of kids. A lot of them had suggested in their collages, walk a mile in my moccasins. See, that's what I mean by turning regular scenes into ghetto scenes. It turned a regular scene into a res scene, proverb of some sort. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. But the thing is, I can't reply till after my 30-day ban is up. And I did want to talk about certain things that I'm not going to talk about here. I mean, I wasn't trying to question her, but I mean, she chose to be ghetto. That's the thing. And being ghetto, you can't be. A certain way in a relationship. That's what these ghetto ass females don't fucking understand. They want their fucking knight shining armor to be ghetto as fuck, but also tender, loving, and caring, but only to them. But I've met two guys in my life. They are very fucking res ghetto. And they've been to altogether, altogether, 40 reservations. Each res they've been to, they got the majority of the females. They've even talked about accidentally snagging one of their female relatives. These two guys, the only problem they would have is just they decided to fuck with psycho ass ghetto females. Or fucking with a female that already had a side nigga who didn't like being the side. That's how smart these two guys were. They knew which type of females to stay the fuck away from, especially if they want to keep getting a shitload of poon. I'm not a guy that fits in that description of them two, right? You know, because I didn't have the looks, the height, probably the fucking length. You know, the first thing that I was asked every time I went to a reservation was, how much do I get? And is my tribe planning on sending out more tribal checks each year? See, once natives like that ask me questions like that, you know, I immediately just I shut the fuck down. I just walk the fuck away. You know, because you're supposed to be a human and give a shit about people. But you know. Since I don't have the looks, they're not gonna give a shit. But yeah, them two guys, I mentioned that one female that's my friend. You know, I mean, she's related. You know, that's probably the only reason why we're friends online. Stay connected to family online, you know. And I asked him about this type of ghetto chick, you know, from the res. They said, "Oh yeah, we know quite a few of them types. We don't fuck with them like that. We'll just be friends with them." And and it is true. Guys won't say anything. If a female claims to be celibate. I mean, because them two, what they told me about it, they were side dudes to a lot of females off the reservation. When I say off the reservation, I mean in small towns, cities. I don't mean none of that government jargon bullshit. Yeah, and then about 4 days ago, I come across a video. Another guy said the same thing of what I just got information about. Two guys a year and a half ago. And in that video, he said, yeah, she claims to be celibate. She's not. And there's guys that just won't say anything. They don't want to stop getting none of that action. but but yeah, pretty much the reason I catch bands now these days, I, I really don't post anything inappropriately on big tech apps no more. Never really did, aside from my cussing, dirty jokes. But the thing is, I got threatened over just speaking facts. Didn't call her no name, didn't talk about her past sexual bodies. Didn't talk about where she ended up being, what she ended up doing. I found out about stuff about her through people who like her and hate her. And it's pretty obvious why she's single at her age. I mean, it's funny because part of the reason why these Native women are a huge joke on society. They really is. And what I mean about that is they fight for traditionalism. They fight for their cultural upbringing, all that BS. They claim to be fighting that, they want to learn their native languages that they weren't allowed to pass down. The majority of all them females who fought for all that, none of them ain't trying to learn their language. None of them ain't trying to go to powwows. They all want to be res ghetto, leeching off the system. They want to bawl about, oh, how I gotta get a job, I gotta pay bills, I gotta do this, and I gotta do that on top of being a traditional woman from my tribe. It's really fucking disheartening. For someone like my mom's oldest sister go on and have a baby by a non-native man. I'm always gonna call her my mom's oldest sister. She ain't family to me. She never was family to me until my mom brought home a white boy. And after that white boy passed away, she went back to being the way she was before he was in our life. But anyway, she'd get mad at all the guys who are native. Brought home a Mexican chick, a white chick, black chick, Asian chick, mixed breed chick, just. And they'd get run off by other females. The only other reason why the non-natives would get run off is because they don't like to deal with the situation of being trapped in between two females, maybe more because they couldn't keep it to themselves or keep it to just her. But then that also helps indigenous feminists leave the res and never come back. But when it happens every time, as soon as they get to about between 26 and 30, they want to move back to the res. I never wanted to leave home. I was forced out, I just Man, I just wanted to be a commercial fisherman, you know. That was a job, something to do. I mean, part of the other reason why I wanted to be a commercial fisherman is because that felony I got as a minor, you know, that helped until 9/11 happened. When George Bush did the Patriot Act, and all the employers were able to gain access to my juvie record. I stole money from a teacher, uh, government property in a government building. I mean, I've committed smaller crimes before that. Stealing candy, stealing soda. But I wasn't getting paid to do my chores. You know, I was ending up heading to school early in the morning because at the time they just split the school up into two, one for morning and the afternoon kids. But yeah, in order for me to actually go to school early in the morning and just wait till school started for my grade, I had to get a student card, and that costed $5. I, I mowed the lawn, I took out the trash, did the garbage. You know, I was told I could have got $40 for what I did, and all I was asking for five. So they didn't give me the money, and started asking this one kid. Um, we went to the apartment complex next to the school. We walked into any apartment that had the door unlocked. We walked into this one apartment, and there's two Folgers cans. They were Middleton cans at the time too, and they were just fucking full of change. And I pulled out $5. Told that kid he could keep the rest. we were we were seen crossing a field, trying to go turn all that change into dollars. I mean, if they had CCTV back then, like they do now, that I probably would have gotten online and searched for that. Two kids sneaking out of school. You change into cash. Yeah, that whole next week after that, when we did that, the teachers and the security guards, they really kept an eye on me, and but yeah, I had to hide that ID, that student ID, for about a month. You know, and then one of my friends got killed in a car accident. I ended up running away for a night. Got picked up in the morning by the cops and brought back home. I I was kept out of school. It got so bad that they weren't even gonna let me attend school the following school year. But by the time this stuff was already happening, I was already thinking about going to live with my dad. You know, and just you know, I went to live with him, and my grades improved. They improved. And then my mom, she started drunk calling my home village. her white boy of a man started calling my home village. Started telling all of them boys up there, I taught him karate. He knows how to fight. He's brown belt just like me. He exaggerated what he said when he was drunk. He didn't actually teach me to fight. He taught me a couple of moves that were life saving. That was it. He didn't teach me to fight. He just taught me a couple of moves that saved my life. But I was a kid then, so even if I could, I still wasn't strong enough to actually hurt anybody. I haven't practiced those two moves in a long time, so I don't know how much stronger I've gotten over time, but you see, because part of me has gotten wiser and stronger. I still got that fucking childish ways about me, right? I know how to effectively execute these moves now. I kind of do wonder, could I do some considerable damage if I'm not, if my intentions aren't to outright kill the person? And I think about all that bullshit I was put through because of him telling all them boys in my home village I could fight. You know, it wasn't until about a year and a half later all of them have trained in wrestling. Some of them took up some boxing lessons. You know, I was fortunate enough to sit around and be able to watch a couple of guys shadow box. I mean, I don't miss the drama. I just miss home. I mean, one of the funny things that I heard a drunk woman say from my home village. There's a female out there right now, and she's getting done to her bad things. Here I am, can't do nothing about it. Out in the middle of nowhere. I got her mad once because that wasn't the only time she said that. And I said, well, every time you go into town, you don't do anything to find out if females got beat up, got put in the hospital, forced pregnancy on them, incest, forced rape, all that. The only thing you do when you go out of town is you go in and you get all your drink, you get all your smoke, whatever bills you gotta pay, whatever food you gotta pay. You get that, and you go right back. That's all you do. You don't really do anything else when you go into town. That's how useless feminism is out in the middle of fucking nowhere. Everybody else in that home village of mine, we're all just trying to fucking get on with our lives, do what we need to do, what we need to do. Prepare for the next winter. She's one of them natives that never, ever had to get a job due to the money she gets from her corporation. Because Alaska and the Lower 48 is different. And they're called corporations. And I don't know what the check disbursements are now, but back then it was pretty much every month. But anyway, she never had to struggle. And yet she always loved to cause drama among the people who did have to struggle.